Hello and how you doing, and welcome back to Jagoffs. I am your host, Austin Cairns. We're right here in Point Park University's Media Hub, and today we are bringing on not one, but two very special guests here on the podcast today. For one of my first big interviews of 2026, please welcome the fashionista of professional wrestling, Calvin Couture, and Mr. Design, Tyler Klein. This is the Runway. Guys, it's great to have you on.
Thank you, Austin. Thank you.
Thank you so much for making the trip down here. I hope it wasn't too far away from your guys' place of work.
No,
Not at all.
Nice little walk for you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that cold today, so it's actually nicer that it wasn't.
right.
'Cause
Yeah, it's a weird week. It's going to hit 60, I think, on Friday, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get sick again, and I don't.
the ups and downs are killing me, dude. I don't even
You know
know.
what? I will take the rain and the warmth over the snow.
See,
I will.
I
it's
would
not
too.
bad for you because I've got allergies. So whenever the weather fluctuates like this, I go. It just.
Oh
it
no,
does
I
not
have
hurt.
allergies.
Not as bad as me.
It's gonna happen. That's why I'm worried about it.
Nope.
Honestly, the weather sucks right now. It's going to be up and down because did we have like a blizzard like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It feels like.
Yep. New Year. It was like New Year's Eve. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
New Year's Eve. Yeah.
Oh, it was
Last week.
ridiculous. Even that Enjoy show that you guys were on as well.
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
really bad snow that day.
Yeah.
That
it
was-
awful.
Yeah, that poor cage. I couldn't get it.
Yeah, an arcade match, but it's fine.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about some of that stuff later on this episode. But
I know.
I want to start off getting to know you guys and your careers just a little bit more. Whoever wants to start off first. What made you guys get into professional wrestling?
Do you want me to start?
Yeah, you go ahead. You always start. He always talks first.
All right. What made me get into professional wrestling? Well, I was always a fan ever since I can remember. My dad got me into it. Really loved the colors, the characters. Was never really into comic books, cartoons, superheroes. It was always wrestlers for me. So they kind of stuck out of the pack to something a little different. I guess to me it felt a little more real, but also in its own world in itself. So I was always a fan, always wanted to do it, always wondered what if, and I was actually working a job that I didn't find much satisfaction out of. I wasn't happy. Not that I wasn't happy with it, but it wasn't giving me the satisfaction that I wanted moving forward with my life. I wanted to find something that I was truly passionate about, and it turned out that was professional wrestling. So I actually messaged the Iron City Wrestling Academy, and I knew that they had recently had tryouts. So I was like, okay, maybe this isn't the year for me, but what does that look like moving forward? When are you thinking about next? And they got back to me and said, well, we haven't even started class yet. So it was pretty much, if you want to come try out tomorrow, you can start 2 days after that. So kind of jumped right into it. Not much preparation, but I was like, you know what? If I don't take that leap off the cliff, I'll never know. And if I fly, I fly. And if I fall, at least I can say I tried.
And that's what brought you in.
That's what brought me in.
That's amazing. What about you, Tyler?
So I really loved it when I was a kid, like little kid. My family during Christmas, like my uncles would buy me wrestling books, like just for children that were like choose your own adventure, and they put you in the middle of the whole, like I had a book as a kid that was illustrated with me and a whole bunch of like 80s WWE, WWF wrestlers, so like Macho Man, all that. And it was like my name in it and a weird portrait of me, and it just like going through like you were part of like.
So you were part of like the storylines and stuff.
Part of like a little story. Like I got that book for Christmas. My parents were like, "What the hell is this?" And I really liked it, and I thought it was pretty cool. And then I was kind of sheltered, so I was watching it one day, and somebody I think said a curse word. And
Attitude Era, probably.
No, it wasn't even that.
Sure?
It might not have even been that. I don't know. But my mom turned it off, and I wasn't allowed to watch it. So like when I got older, I'm from South Jersey originally, and there's like no cable there. So we had a satellite, and we picked up CZW on the satellite, and I used to go down, and it would only play at like midnight every single night. So I would go
it was ultra violent.
well, I know. I would go downstairs and in our like really weird sunroom, and I'd watch it from like midnight till 1 o'clock, and then run back upstairs. Like that was my existence through high school. And then I kind of fell out of it for a little bit when I went to college, and I met a friend of mine who I did the collegiate wrestling club for a little bit. And I met a friend who was actually training to be a pro wrestler. I was like, oh, that's really cool. I should look into that. And I, talked to a few people around the area when I lived in South Carolina, but work never permitted, and moved to Boston a couple years about after college and everything else like that. And I had met some new friends, and they trained at a local school, and I went with them a couple times, and I had learned some stuff from them just by working out with them. And the head trainer was like, well, where did you train at? I was like, I've not had the formal training. So he's like, well, you come to the school, we'll put you through the formal classes, everything else like that. And that's how I started back, with my training and everything just up there. And it was just kind of one of those things where it was like, I really wanted to try something different fitness wise, because my my personality just means I can't stay hooked on one thing for so long. I have major like ADHD when it comes to doing stuff like that. So I just basically was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a try. And I started training up at Bell Time Club with like Alec Price and a whole bunch of other people, and Becca and a few other people up there. And then I moved here to Pittsburgh almost 7 years ago.
And then the Runway was born.
And then, well, we were born during the pandemic.
Well, no, before. It was before.
You hit me.
Well,
you
all right,
abandoned me.
That's besides the point. We can get into that.
I do find that interesting, though, that both you guys are at early stages in your life, you immediately were in the professional wrestling, because I've had a couple dozen wrestlers on, and they usually said, no, I was a comic book fan, and that's what brought me to wrestling, or I was into the action movies, the superhero versus villains, or even anime. Like, a lot of people, different people had different backgrounds before they became pro wrestlers. You guys were right there right at the beginning with it.
Well, I mean,
for me, yeah.
Yeah, for him, yeah.
Yeah.
For me,
different.
for me, I was everything.
You were
I was
everything kind of kid.
superheroes. I was Power Rangers. I was Dungeons and Dragons. I was just anime. I had so many things that interest me. Everything was nerdy, but it's just
It all loops back
it
into
all
one
loops
thing.
back around.
And then you guys mentioned then the Runway was born, and I've said this before on this podcast, and I'll say it again now that you guys are sitting here. I look at TME, Gannon Jones Jr., Duke Davis, and I believe they are the best tag team in Pittsburgh. I love what they have done over the years. They both have been on this podcast as well, and they both have been great to me. I always make sure that I say number 2, though, is the Runway.
Oh,
I
thank you.
always say the Runway is the second best tag team in Pittsburgh, and you guys have done so many amazing matches. I've even had the privilege to call some of your guys' matches as well, especially with 880 Wrestling. Do you guys mind speaking on how the Runway was formed and what brought you guys together?
Yeah, of course. So whenever I started, I was really trying to build my network and my brand, and I would go on what I like to call them blitzes. So what I would do on Instagram, I would try to follow fellow wrestlers and make those connections, and really anyone that I felt like kind of had that presence about them, or I've heard of before, or wrestled for places that I wanted to go to. I really followed, and hoped that they would follow back, and then thank them for the follow, kind of make that connection, make that general start that general conversation.
I have a presence.
And well, you look like you did from your picture.
Oh, shut
but
asshole.
you can post anything online, I guess.
Shut up.
No. But then so I found Tyler, and immediately we kind of connected. We both had similar characters, not the same characters. They both they had their differences, but for the most part, we had similar looks. We had we had similar tastes in gear, and
similar tastes in a lot of stuff. And I was kind of the same way. Like I'd friend like wrestlers on there because I was just getting started, and I had seen some of I didn't really have any clips or anything else like that, and I had maybe 2 matches at that point. But I reached out. He friended me. We reached out. We talked back and forth for a while. Just became really good friends, and just getting to know each other via social
we were
media.
friends for probably a few years before you were thinking about coming to Pittsburgh.
I had when I was in Massachusetts, I had no friends. I was kind of like,
that's not true.
I had my roommates and my boyfriend and all that, but like literally I was not really doing all that much outside of working and going to the mall. And that's why I kind of did wrestling, because it was giving me an outlet to do something and meet people. And talking with Calvin for so long as I did, I was like, well, I want to come to, I'm just going to come out and visit and all that. And he knows this, because I will tell everybody, I never wanted to move. And Pittsburgh was like the last place that I ever wanted to
didn't
move.
Want to visit.
I didn't even want to visit. I have
Not a fan of Pittsburgh?
He wasn't.
I was not like, and it has nothing to do with the city. It has to do with more like familial things, because my like grandparents are from here. my family's actually from Pittsburgh, like my mom's side, and I didn't get along with them very well. And I was just like, every Christmas it was like Steelers stuff. I'm like, I don't even like football.
Okay, I'm a Cardinals fan, so
yeah,
no worries.
It was just like every single year.
We'll get into that.
It was just like every single year. That's all it was. And you know, I decided like February of 2019, I think it was. I was like, I'm gonna come out to visit, and I met a whole bunch. I came out to visit, hung out with him. There was went to an IWC show. Went to no, I thought I did because that's
we went to Pit Fight.
Pit Fight.
And then we trained at IWC one night, and then the other night we went to a show in Cleveland.
That's right, because I debuted at Pit Fight because I was the 16th person in a 15-person battle royal.
Yeah.
And then went to premiere with him and Andrew Palace, and Palace and I hit it off really fast, where it was like a 3-hour ride or 2.5-hour ride with him.
Oh my God,
not even talking. Shut up. We were talking nerdy the whole time.
I wasn't feeling too great, so that was fine.
It was good. But, and I, you know, at that point I was like up in Massachusetts, like I'm just kind of living to work at this point. I was working on Saturdays. I couldn't get a booking, and I was just kind of done being up there. And I was like, well, do you want a roommate? And he's like, sure. Fine.
Yeah,
and
they made the offer, and he took it, and then from there on out.
You weren't even there when I moved in. You were on vacation.
Yeah, my cousin helped you move in.
And then that's what brought the Runway together, essentially.
Yeah, essentially.
And then so that was like I think in the summer of 2019, and then we actually didn't have plans of teaming together.
No, not originally. I was just kind of happy to be.
We were just gonna kind of see where it took us and kind of see what happened, and then. As we were, I think it was fall, going into the new year, more places were interested in bringing us in as a tag team. So kind of from there that happened. And then during the pandemic, we did just kind of whatever we could to build our brand and to, you know, train and just get better any way we could. So that's kind of where the initial standing started.
I mean, the first time we teamed together was your storyline at Rise. And I was like I was a stand-in, and then you left me behind trying to ring.
You weren't part of the story.
No, I wasn't, but yeah.
Or what it would become eventually. But yeah, that story was already happening prior to you
now
moving
we're
here.
3-time.
We are the only 3-time Rise Tag Team.
3-time Rise Tag Team champions. How about that?
Yeah.
And would you guys say that you prefer being single stars, or now that you guys have been a tag team for so long, would you say tag team wrestling is your niche?
It's different. I kind of fell into being a tag team wrestler. I never wanted to be a tag team wrestler, but kind of how it worked out was different promotions I'd wrestle for, I would try different teams, and some of them made sense and some of them, you know, kind of didn't, but I really attribute a lot of my early success to RPW, Robert Parker Williams, also known as Potter in the local wrestling scene. He saw something in me, and he was kind of making a little bit of a comeback to try to go for a last run, and he picked me to be his tag team partner for that final run. So that kind of is really what got me started in Rise and really becoming who I was as a performer. Now, after we kind of were settling down, or there were times you couldn't make it, I would have singles matches, and for a little bit at Rise, I was kind of the person that was wrestling the individuals that would come in cars, or that, you know, would bring cars of full of people. And it was kind of cool because I would wrestle different people and get different experiences, and they trusted me doing that and kind of being that person that I don't want to say was like, you know, trying these people out, but that could come in, have a good match with. I could adapt to different styles. So I really contribute a lot of that to him and to giving me that opportunity and seeing something in me where I could just bloom into what I am today. So back to your question, at first I really wasn't into the tag team thing, and then I really found myself in singles, but then I realized kind of after finding a tag team partner that really had, I would say, similar goals, similar wants out of what we wanted out of a brand, it felt like I wasn't just kind of I don't want to say pushed into a tag team, but it kind of felt like we both were on the same page of what we wanted to do and where we wanted to go with what we do as a tag team. And I think you can see that too. So while I do love the art of singles wrestling, I think I do excel more in tag team wrestling. But it's interesting because I think they're two different art forms at the same time. I don't know if you'd agree.
I mean, I kind of just love tag team wrestling. Like, it's easier to feed off of, their energy, and you can bring each other up at the same time. So it's like, it's more of a comfort zone thing for me, like when it comes to that. And I always enjoyed, watching when, I was a kid and watching tag teams who were similar, who had the similar looks. And it's very hard, like on the indies right now, to find tag teams that have matching gear, or
that's not just the same color.
That's
That's fair.
Like,
Is
yeah,
purposefully matching.
And I really like that. And it's a thing of like being thrown with, like being a singles wrestler and then being thrown in a tag team. I think that we both saw ourselves as like, there's a ton of, singles wrestlers out there. Everybody's trying to gun for the same spots. What can we do that would set us apart, and not just being singles wrestlers, like be a tag team, have a gimmick, do something fun, be entertaining.
And that's another point too. I think nobody really comes into this business thinking like, okay, I'm going to be a tag team wrestler, or okay, I'm going to be, X, Y, and Z. Everyone comes in as they see themselves as a single star where they're going to go. And I think that's what's interesting, because you kind of find that along the way of what makes sense. But it is interesting seeing two people come in as a tag team and seeing where they go from there. So I think it's definitely an interesting aspect.
I would say so too, because like a lot of the tag teams that you do see in Pittsburgh, most of them didn't start off together. Right. They eventually became, like, again, Runway eventually came up. Right. When Dean and Nystrom were teaming up, they came up together. Obviously, Duke and Gannon. So I guess my next question would be, who was your greatest rival, would you guys say? And this could be across Pittsburgh altogether. It could be Rise and Joy, 880.
Greatest rival. That's a good question.
Maybe even someone that you guys shared the best chemistry with in the ring, or someone that if you were looking at a card, you're like, yeah, this is going to be a good tag team match. I know we could steal a show here.
I think so. There's two teams that are coming to mind. I'm kind of curious.
I think I know the one.
Okay.
I have my opinion on the other.
Go first?
So obviously, whenever we've worked with Duke and Gannon, it's always
that was gonna be my first one.
But, and working with TME is great because like they are. Like you go places and like you talk to people and they'll be like, you wrestle somebody, they go, thanks, and they'll shake your hand or whatever. And Duke and Gannon love to talk about it, like, oh my god, that was so cool, you guys are really good. Like they're very awesome at complimenting and giving feedback, and that's what you don't get a lot of times whenever you go other places. So having that, and as far as like chemistry.
Well, before you go on that, I'm gonna talk about TME a little bit more before we get into that. So what I think I love the most about TME is they were always pushing us to be our best whenever we're in there with them. And not like other teams don't, but they want to take everyone else to the next level with them. So anytime that we've shared a ring with them, it's always been, well, what can we do better? What can we do that will really give this crowd what they want? What's going to look the best? What's going to feel the best? And I think we do have a lot of good chemistry with them because, clash-wise, like, styles are so different, but it always seems to work with them. And they're one of those teams that are super special because they do that with everybody. I really enjoy working them just because they push me to be the best that I can be. But you said you were gonna go.
As far like definitely it's a TME one, but I'm like, if I'm thinking about like chemistry as far as getting along and really feeding off each other, I have to say like right now leaders by example.
Oh god, I know. Are we really going there?
I know. I think I as much scummy as they are.
No, I just love to punch them in the face.
Yeah. The other one I had was actually was always fun working with Marco and Blake when they were still a team.
Den of Desire,
Den
yeah.
of Desire when they were a team. And, you know, having things like 880 and stuff like that and enjoying all that is like you have teams that you can continue stories with, because if you're just going to some other indie promotions, like you're doing one-off matches or things like that, so it's sometimes you can't build a rivalry or anything like that. But when you when you can build a story or anything else like that, it's really fun, and you get to work on character work, because a lot of times, you know, you go to some promotions, it's like, oh, here's the match, that's it. Like you can have character work in the match, but you know, now you can build a story that's going to go a little bit longer when you have setting like 880 and stuff like that, Rise and all that.
And I will say, now there are people that, I mean, I don't want to say rivals, but there are teams that we've had numerous matches with that built to something. And one of the teams that I was thinking that we wrestled at Rise was actually Dog Nation. Now, unfortunately, they do not team anymore, but they were two wrestlers that I feel like we had amazing chemistry with, and we always tried to do different things, and it always seemed like it worked, and they were always down for anything. And so I would say them, and I also want to give a special shout out to White Trash Forever, Ron Mathis and Bruce. They are similar to TME, where they always expect and bring the best out of us, and I do appreciate them for that.
Honestly, that's a great list of guys right there. I mean, outside of leaders, but that's besides the point.
I had to give him at least a little bit of a kudo, because it is, you know, whatever.
Do you guys, I gotta ask, do you guys believe in this whole thing that they have going on right now? This whole, obviously I was on call for it, so I was there part of it. This gay enough? I mean, I don't fully understand it.
Have you seen Clayton's hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
looks like a ferret.
definitely
That's
not
something.
not.
That's a good one. It does look like
Yeah, they call him Ferret Boy.
We got. Oh, what did I miss?
I can't say bad. I didn't want to curse.
You can say whatever the hell you want.
Oh, they're not the leaders by example anymore. The bitch ass bottoms.
Bitch ass bottom.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're the Babs.
I'm not gonna lie.
The Babs.
I hate you so much.
Why? I just took the acronym and added an S.
I know.
Oh, that's great. I mean, when you guys said
I
that,
don't know what you're
I
saying.
can't wait till John and Clayton hear this. It's gonna be great.
Good.
yeah, they'll probably blame me for it somehow, some way.
You know what?
You cannot
Whatever.
blame him. I'm saying
What
it
are they
now.
gonna do?
You can't
Kick you
blame
off a
us.
commentary?
Yeah.
Psh, they did that already. Whatever.
They do that every week.
Yeah,
it feels like.
Whatever.
Oh my gosh, no, I can't stand them. I do gotta ask you guys though. There's John, there's Clayton, kind of Reese, kind of Marco. Do we? I don't understand it. Like the whole landscape of 880 wrestling feels weird right now, doesn't it?
So disappointed in Marco.
Yeah.
What a gold dig. What did I say? Marco's a gold.
He's a gold digging bitch.
Yeah. I mean, he is.
I mean, come on now.
Flighty.
Like you just figure your shit out, girl. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'll tell you guys the worst part about this whole thing. My best friend that I've known since elementary school, Kevin, who comes to all the wrestling shows. You guys have probably seen selfies of him on social media. He goes by Carl now, and he's the #1 leader by example fan. All he does is support them. He wears the shirts.
Sounds like you need a new friend.
I really do. That's why he's a former friend.
I don't talk to any of my high school friends. I mean, you don't have to.
I have one.
One.
Oh, yeah, you've got one.
One single
High
one.
school friend. I have more grade school friends than high school friends. Fun fact.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I left mine all behind when I went to college. I was like,
Wow.
bye.
You know what? I feel you on that because outside of Carl, I did that with everybody else.
Oh,
I
yeah,
said, as
no.
soon as I get to college, forget about
They're
everybody
nice.
else.
They're nice. I mean, guys I went to high school and people I went to high school were nice, but you know, a lot of them, they all live in the same hometown, and he's seen where my family lives, and woof, it's
Sad.
awful.
It's fine.
It sounds no, it is not.
It's fine.
I mean, you guys know this. I went to Carlington, so my graduating class was 68 people. So it was
I'm in
small.
the same boat. My graduating class was about 70 something from high school. So
Yeah, you all knew each other.
Oh
so
yeah, unfortunately.
Ew.
Ugh.
what would you say your guys' best match was of all time
Ooh,
as a tag
I
team
know.
wrestler?
I know. Do you know? I know.
Mine's Dango and Bree.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Mine.
Immaculate.
I'm glad you
Enjoy
guys
it.
said
Immaculate.
that.
That's my
Dango and Bree.
favorite. That was my favorite match.
All time.
I mean, and if I mean, we've had other matches that I love. Like
Close second was with Effie versus Effie. Well, it was supposed to be Effie and Allie, but Allie got hurt.
Yeah.
So it was us and Effie. That's a close second.
That's a close second. I don't know. I love doing whenever we do like the fashionista street fights, especially when it's like when we get to have a lot of fun. Like we did it. I want to say like my favorite fashionista street fight we've done. Like for me, the Enjoy ones are great, but I loved doing the one at Rise with Gianni and
Greg.
Greg, only because I got a sick piece of artwork out of it.
Oh my God. Get out of
Because
here. All right, let's go back to the original question.
no,
We're done
Because if I want to embarrass Gianni, I will.
Oh my God.
So
he's not even gonna watch
That's
this.
fine. He should.
He's not.
So, we're we're going through the match and everything else like that, and he's down, and I run into him in the corner with my hip like I normally do. I give a stink face, and somebody in the crowd
This
took a photo. And
know what you were
whenever you
talking about.
take anything like that, you're
Uh-huh.
supposed to, you're supposed to hopefully move your face to the side. Gianni didn't.
Oh, he took it.
Oh, Gianni's face. His,
Oh, no.
Like,
Yeah, it was
there's
up there.
and the best part is like there's the photo, and then I posted it on social media and I tagged him just to be funny, and then somebody took it and drew and did like a colored pencil drawing of it.
But the kicker to that is they did it in like cartoon form.
Oh my
No,
God.
this is a cartoon form.
No. So they drew it.
Oh yeah.
They drew it, but they did it as an animation.
Mm.
So they drew it and colored it, but so still by still it's like a video.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't seen the video. I only have the photo saved on my phone.
Yeah, but the photo. So
Gianni's
what
contact.
what they did with the photo is I'm pretty sure they did like an animation of the photo.
Oh God.
So like literally old school animation.
Oh,
yeah,
You made it seem like it was moving in a video. I'm like, no, it's not. There's no video. It's just.
But it looks like
Yeah,
it's
it looks like
moving,
it looks like they
different.
they colored it in like an old school animation kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's just like
But they
literally
go-
Gianni's face.
But they go
is, like-
screen by screen, so it makes it look like the whole if you take a stack of paper and do it in the corner with someone doing
Oh, yeah.
like that. That's what it looks
Your level of animation, got it.
So what was it like the Vince and Rikishi stink face kind of
Oh,
where it's like
like-
face deep?
Yeah,
like. He was up there.
yeah, he was up there. I'll show you the photo later.
Oh God.
Because
that
holy,
saved.
it's one of my favorites.
Of course it
It's
is.
Johnny's contact information,
Of course it is.
contact photo.
Every time he calls, that's what it.
Oh yeah,
That's what pops up. Oh my goodness.
Perfect.
Poor Gianni. But Breeze and Dango, that was your
Yes.
favorites.
Yes.
Sorry. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Honestly, I will say this too. When I went there as a fan, actually, that was my first Enjoy show I ever gone
Really?
to.
Okay.
Was the Stage AE, and I remember that whole match with Breeze and Dango. And you guys could probably speak on it a little bit better since obviously you guys competed in it. But that was one of my favorite matches of the night, and that whole
Thank you.
card was totally stacked. I mean, there was the 4-way tag, there was the cage match with Grim and Lawless, MV and Mikey. I mean, that was an amazing card. That was one of my favorite cards ever.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think, I appreciate you saying that because it does make me feel like maybe we did something a little different on the card than what everyone else did, because you had tons of different routes. So you had a little bit of everything for everybody. You had your, the cage match. So you had a little bit of gore. You had, the technical with like Lee being there. You had, more of a brawling style with Willow and Billy. Like you had speed. You had so much, and I feel like we really did something that spoke to who we are, even though the Enjoy crowd knew who we were. But I think it showed who we were, what we brought, and really what we can do against anybody, no matter where you are in wrestling. Could be someone that's currently on TV, could be like former WWE superstars, it could be people just starting out. So for me, it really put into perspective that I can hang with the best of the best, and I think that really showed in that match.
And it was just like kind of. I was kind of like in shock when we first found out what it was going to be. I was just like, oh man, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because I've watched both of them and I love the gimmick and everything else like that. And I'm like, man, I don't want to do anything. Like I don't want to like come out with something that's going to look close to anything that they're going to do or they've done or anything else like that. Because it was my first experience like meeting and working with somebody who'd been, at the TV level before. He's worked with MVP, so like that was my first experience, and I was freaking out and trying to stay calm at the same time. And we had so many moving parts in the match, and then we had our own entrance that we wanted to do, just because it was like we had friends like, why not do a fashion show? We've done it before, like once
That was
before.
my idea. Calm down.
Oh, shut up.
Do you guys come out with like the girls and everything too?
Oh yeah,
We did.
Well,
Went all out. It feels like.
that's what, and that's what we wanted. This show is special for a lot of reasons. It was obviously the biggest. I want to say the big. I honestly think it's the biggest independent show that's ever been done in Pittsburgh.
It's hard to disagree.
And I really wanted it to look special. I wanted it to feel special, and I wanted anyone that would watch that, whether it's their first time in person, first time seeing it on YouTube, I wanted them to know who we were and what we were about. And I think we did that, and I wanted to take it an extra level by adding that entrance, because I feel like in adding that entrance, it really put together, who we are, what we want to put out there, kind of that vibe of, this is what you're going to get. And I think they got that. And that's what I was really happy with how everything turned out.
And even from a fan perspective too, like my buddy Kevin I was telling you guys about earlier, that was actually his first ever wrestling event he's ever been to. Was that Enjoy show? Because I figured Stage AE, it's close, it's right off the Parkway. Let's go and have some fun. And I've been to plenty of independent shows before, but Enjoy, that was my first one. And literally every single match, top to bottom, was stacked. And I can only imagine working with Breeze and Dango.
Yeah,
probably meant the absolute world. Did they give you some advice, or like what was it like talking to them before the match and everything?
I mean, it was awesome.
Chill.
Yeah,
Really?
It was very chill. They were just such cool dudes, and really, with how we set the match up, it was very.
They were like, well, what do you guys, what do you want to do? Like, we're open to do whatever. Like, let's come up, collaborate with ideas. And they were really cool with like, if we had an idea, taking it and kind of like going a little bit further with it and coming up with some other stuff, like the slingshot thing they did to me was.
Well, and going off of that, they are true professionals. So I know we always hear, being in the business, think, smarter, not harder. They truly thought smarter. And with everything that we put out there, the way that they were helping us put things together and how we were putting certain things in, we really, I feel like they were really working as smart as they could with what we had, and made more out of less than having to do more and have it not mean anything. Because I think that's something that is forgotten a lot in wrestling today. I think people just want to do everything that they see and not realize that, especially with an independent crowd, it's a huge part of an independent show is standing out from the others on the show.
Yep.
And that's what's so nice about Enjoy, is because I think everyone has their own strengths, and Enjoy does a really good job at having people work their
Variety.
strengths, with the variety. And I think that was something that was great, is it didn't take away from who we were as a tag team, as wrestlers, but it really emphasized on who we are and who we are and what we put out there as characters, and really showing that nobody can do it like we can.
And it's just, and like, it was so fun. And like, you go off that high for like a couple of months. Like, I was on that high for a couple months. This one, year.
It was a blow,
every time, like, it would be complete silence or whatever. He just looked at me and say, hey, we wrestled Dirty Breeze. I'm like, yeah, that.
I remember we beat Dirty Breeze.
So we beat Dirty Breeze. I'm like, that was 8 months ago.
Well, and something that was so hard was, you want to live in the moment and enjoy the moment.
Yep.
But like, I can't even remember the entrance. I don't
Really? You don't remember it at all?
I don't, like, I remember being on the stage, looking up, seeing the lights, and next thing I know, I was taking the microphone to say what I said, and then it kind of is a big blur.
Some of the things that come out of your mouth when you get the microphone.
Well,
are just,
Were you guys heels that night for
Yes.
the match?
we were.
We were.
You guys were heels, and I've seen you guys work both as heel and face. Do you have a preference in the style, or like what do you think the Runway works best as?
I think they work best as heels.
I love.
Oh, really?
I love. love being hated.
Yeah, I think
I'm actually surprised by that.
I don't know.
Because you guys are both good. I will give you credit. You're one of the few that, because I see this a lot in indie wrestling. Like some people are only good at face, only good at heel, or honestly good at neither. You're one of the few that's actually I could confidently say, yeah, I could see you doing both.
Thank you.
I like being a heel. Like I don't know. I just kind of I have a have a great resting bitch face.
Well, and I think we both
to where I'm like almost smile.
I think we both agree that we think it's easy to get people to hate us. I don't think it's that difficult to get people to like us, though.
No,
but it's a different mentality.
We
Yeah,
can
really
easily get people we get people to like us. Obviously, I mean both are fun. I just kind of like being the bad guy sometimes. Like I don't know. It's just like I think I can channel more like frustration and character and be mean gay better than I can be happy gay. I don't know. But
What does gay have to be?
I don't know, because I'm a mean gay. That's what I've been told.
I mean, gay.
I'm a mean gay. That's what I've been told by
Can't you just be mean?
friends. No, I'm a mean gay.
Jeez.
I'm gay. I'm gonna be mean or gay. Doesn't matter.
But yeah, no. So for me, a majority of my career was heel. I was always, even like when I was a singles, I was mainly a heel. If I was in a tag team and we were splitting up, I was mainly the heel moving forward. I think it really turned for us whenever people enjoyed booing us too much. And it got to a point where it was just kind of a natural progression. Like, well, I guess we're good now.
I think I remember when it essentially happened is like, it was an Enjoy show, and I don't think we had fully gone face that point. And there's a photo of me like sitting on the apron, and I just have this look of, what the hell are people? I was like, oh, you're cheering me now? Like, oh God, I don't remember what match it was. It might have been a match versus Kings of the District, but it was like, we went out. We went out and everybody started cheering. Everybody started cheering us. It was like, that's when it kind of essentially turned around.
We weren't going into the matches faces, but as soon as we walked out, we were faces, and we kind of knew we kind of had a feeling that was going to happen. That because it was on the verge of happening. So we kind of knew it was going to happen, and then it did. But that's not the first time it happened. It happened at Rise.
Was that when you kicked BC in the balls?
Yeah, but it was kind of happening before that.
Yeah.
So it was that, like, you can tell, like, and it's interesting. So I think a lot of places like to have us as a heel team, at least to start. But it kind of grows and goes from there. Like even 880, like we were heels at 880 to start. And that just made sense for us at the time.
Made sense. And now you guys are faces at 880 and enjoy your faces. What about some of the other promotions you guys work for? Do you guys know where your heels and faces right now?
We do both.
We do both enough to where
Rise right now we're heels.
Yeah,
Okay,
Rise.
Rise.
Right now we're heels. Route 33 down in West Virginia. We were there once. We were heels.
Anywhere we go first, we're normally heels.
What about 2PW? I know that.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
We'll gauge on the 13th.
I think we ended 2PW as
heels.
Faces.
No, we did faces. I think so.
I don't know.
Just all kind of depends. Yeah, if the crowd gives you a hard time, just be heels.
Yeah.
I don't know. No,
I mean, that's the
curious.
cool thing. That's the good thing with like booking is like when we go and reach out to new places, we can tell them like we don't have to be this. We can be both.
Yeah, we're whatever.
Like
you
we're
need.
whatever you need. You want us to be bad guys? We'll be bad guys. You want us to be good guys? We'll be good guys.
Yeah.
And that's good to be versatile too, because these other promotions probably appreciate that. Like, hey, that's an easier way of getting you on the card.
But speaking of 2PW, that's another example. We started there as heels, but we ended up being faces. We ended up being some of our top faces, to be honest.
Don't you feel like it's also because you guys been around the business for quite some time that you're now that veterans that everyone's starting to appreciate your guys' tag team work? Maybe
it's weird that you say that with veteran because I don't feel like it, but then
you don't feel like a veteran.
I don't, but I realize I have been doing it for a while. But I think a lot of it is, for me at least, I think people just like what we do and they like what we put out there. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I feel like we give them something to remember. We don't just do the moves.
Yeah, it's different whenever like you go to a show or you go into different promotions and you see card has like 8 matches, 6 of those matches are all the same. There's no, and I'm like, this is just a generalization. It's not really what happens. Like you see a show that's got like 6 different matches on 7 different matches. All those matches are the same. Nobody interacts with the crowd. Nobody like, you're there for the crowd. You're there for those fans that have paid money to be in the seats, and
everyone has bad nights.
Yeah,
like
everybody
that's
has
not
bad
everyone
nights.
has bad matches. Everyone has times when they just don't feel like themselves. But I think you have a good point where if you're not interacting or
engaging with the fans.
Because I mean that's a lot of independent wrestling. I think, kind of going off your point, a lot of people on these cards try to stand out by doing stuff that they saw on TV.
And so do the other people on there. So you have
Right.
5 matches that are the same.
Move. But the thing is, people. I think a lot of people on the independents don't realize that when you're on TV, you're not wrestling for the crowd. You're wrestling for that camera. Whereas on the independents, you're wrestling for that crowd. And I think a lot of people forget that.
That's honestly a good point, because whenever you see it a lot of times with a lot of these wrestlers, especially ones that are coming fresh from TV down to the independents, they don't realize that. They're playing right to the hard cam. And I mean, it's good to play to the cam for the people at home, but most of the time independent wrestling, it's for the people that's there.
Right.
It's for the people that's paying those tickets.
And I think independent wrestling is one of those places where you have to learn to do both.
And that's why I always hate when people are like, "Oh, sell the hard cam." I'm like, but there's nobody in front of the hard cam. Like even
Right.
like on most independent shows, like you have the 4 sides and everything, and they put like the hard cam on the one side where there's nobody, and I'm like, I'm not gonna interact with nobody. I'm gonna like.
It's weird at 880 right now, because the way they have their hard cam set up at the warehouse now, everybody's over by the entranceway and they want you to play the hard cam. And I'm like, well, I mean, you can, but 'cause I got in the ring and did a segment
What's the
recently.
Roman cams for?
That's
Well, but I will say, like, I kind of do. I really do like 880's new space because it gives.
oh, it's beautiful, yeah.
Because it gives the room for experimentation and to see where places go. But I'm sorry, you were making a point.
No, that was pretty much it for that point. I was just going to say the warehouse, it's definitely a great place. And I was actually going to ask you guys, do you guys have any big future plans in terms of 880 Enjoy? Big goals for 2026 now that we're on a new year?
Yeah, I mean,
As a tag team?
we're always looking for new gold.
I one of my bucket list goals is to be the Enjoy Tag Champions.
Yeah, and I would love to also be the 880 tag team champion.
That too.
Are those 2 titles that's kind of eluded you guys for a while?
Yeah, we've well, not so much 880 because we never really knew if we were going to be mainstays at 880. But we've wanted those Enjoy titles for years.
We've had people. It's like, oh, when's your chance? I was like, well, I want to cut them.
So I think we're on the cusp.
We're on the cusp of this year?
I think so.
I hope so. No, I think so.
Think so? Want so?
I want to. I mean, I think that, I don't know. I really, really, really would love like the belts and everything else like that. But I kind of like, that's a huge accomplishment. But my bigger accomplishment for like me is just going out there and having fun and putting on a great show for them. And honestly being, representing the LGBTQ community for me anyway. That's big for me because whenever I kind of started, it's like it was one of those things that hadn't really taken off.
It was a different
Yeah,
time.
it was a little different. And then you have all these people who are now more comfortable being out and part of the community and wrestling and stuff like that, in part and thanks to like Effie and things of that nature that have given a voice to a lot of people. Like 880 does that great, Enjoy does that, 880 and Enjoy do that amazingly.
I think it's all about having a safe space where
Yeah.
you can be a true artist and a true performer. And I think that's something that it's I don't want to say it's new because that's not the word I'm looking for, but it's something that is becoming more common, and I think that's amazing because I think there is a space, for everyone, and I'm just lucky to be able to be a part of 880 and enjoy wrestling.
I feel like that's a cool thing about professional wrestling too nowadays, especially independents here in Pittsburgh. Not just an escape for you guys as wrestlers, but even for fans. Fans dealing with other things.
100%.
Professional wrestling is certainly a way out, certainly a way that you can go out there and enjoy yourself for a little bit.
And I love being part of something that takes somebody into a whole new realm, into a whole new world, and makes them feel a part of something that they might not have been a part of
What's those fan encounters like? Meeting fans and stuff.
Oh, phenomenal.
You guys get recognized in public sometimes, or
Sometimes
We did.
sometimes
not including me when I see you guys on the bus?
Massachusetts. Remember?
we did get recognized. in
So
Massachusetts.
we were up at a wrestling show in Massachusetts, and since I'm from there, I go to all the comic book shops and everything else like that. And this is kind of funny. I walked into one of the malls, and the only person that ever calls me like Tyler in public is usually Calvin or any.
You
wrestling.
did have an Enjoy Wrestling shirt.
I did have an Enjoy Wrestling shirt on, actually. I did have the hoodie on.
Did.
And we walked into the comic book store that I used to frequent all the time, and somebody was like, the person at the counter was like, Tyler, and I froze because I was like, I'm like, okay, because I've been answering to that for so long, and the store was not full of people, and I kind of turned around, and I'm like, hello, and the guy, the individual behind the counter was like, are you Tyler Klein? And I'm like, I'm in Massachusetts. How do you know? I'm like, yeah, that's me. Like, oh, it's a pleasure. She's like, oh yeah, I've watched you on Enjoy. I've looked at all your stuff. It's like, oh, Calvin's here too, and I showed him Calvin. And then it was kind of funny because they were actually coming to Pittsburgh for the Enjoy show. It was the Anthrocon. So they were
on weekend, yeah.
They were the lone furry in the crowd in full getup in July for the tag team tournament show where we beat Bussy. And they were just head to toe, full furry outfit in July.
Incredible.
That poor person.
Fantastic.
They were so hot and sweaty, and they came up and said hi to us during intermission.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you remember me? Like, oh, yeah, you're the one. I was like, I cannot believe that you were here in that full getup. Like, more power to you, because it was hot in Mr. Small.
In July.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh yeah, every year I think it's like around 4th of July.
My God, have you ever driven downtown
Yeah.
when
Oh,
Anthrocon
it's
happens? It's
phenomenal.
fun to people watch.
I can only imagine them sweating.
Phenomenal.
Oh, it's a blast.
No, but back to the point. No, I think it's awesome, especially whenever we're going places, like the big gay brunches, and meeting fans that, really, aren't from the area. That's always a blast, especially international fans. And not only that, but wrestlers too, like other wrestlers that we wouldn't necessarily meet otherwise.
Like in California, we've met some really fun, like doing full queer and things like that.
You just meet different people, and I think that's one of my favorite parts of it is learning a lot about these people, what makes them tick, what brings them to where they are, seeing their creativity. I think a lot of times you get a lot of people from the same area who are trained by a lot of the same people, and it's hard finding different styles sometimes. Right. And of course that comes with growth and with travel and learning. And it's funny though, because I think you can kind of pinpoint where a lot of individuals were trained and how they were trained just by little nuances. And that could just be me because of me being around the area for a while. But it's very interesting to see how people take their creativity and move forward. Like, for example, I trained with Katie Arquette.
Friend of the show.
And she was actually my first tag team partner. We were a team for about 2 years. 2 years. And it's interesting because we were obviously trained by the same person, but it's funny because we don't even realize sometimes that we do each other's moves, but we do each other's moves. And I think that just kind of goes back to...
He threw a spear out of nowhere, and I was like, Katie's going to kill you.
Yeah, she ended up being there that night, too. That was great.
Yeah, she's
Taking Katie's moves. Oh, gosh.
It's fine. She says, oh, I did these moves first. And I'm like, okay, girl, whatever. Sure you did. But it's interesting to see where people take their creativity, and I think that's what's interesting about this area too, is because you see a lot of people with different characters that are trying to stand out and be different. And I really appreciate that, because you don't see that in a lot of other areas.
Not at all.
You see a lot of, I'm creative wrestler too, and and not that that's a bad thing, because people are still learning, and it takes people years to find a character and to really be comfortable with who they want to be in the wrestling world, or with even them themselves. So I think that's one thing that Pittsburgh does great, is that the wrestling scene encourages people to become a character and grow with it, and also not be afraid to switch it up if you need to.
I love that. And I'll tell you what, I feel like it feels like everyone in Pittsburgh specifically, just because I've only really been in Pittsburgh with professional wrestling, it feels like everyone kind of knows each other too.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like that? Like sometimes sharing the same locker rooms, you're like, oh yeah, I've worked with this guy at this place before. I've seen her here before. Even the fans, like you're like, yeah, I've seen them at this IWC show, but now they're here at this Rise show. It's crazy how like everyone is so well connected here in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah.
I do got to ask you guys though, going into 2026, is there maybe some opponents that maybe you have not faced, or maybe some that you would love to revisit going into this year?
It's been a while since we wrestled TME.
TME.
Just-
like not even like who I want to wrestle, but where. Like in 2026, I want to get back out to California. I also want to try and get to Florida and do Fest, because that looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I know that there's a team that was at the last Fest show, the Better Together guys. I've watched them. They're really, really good. And I feel like if we were to work with them, that would be really cool, and it would push us.
We did just have the Fest Tag Team Champions
Yep.
on recently as well, Casey and
Yep.
Brandon.
Well, I want to go there and beat Casey and Brandon in Florida.
Hell yeah.
Oh, not accepted. Maybe challenge. I don't know.
Maybe.
They might beat my ass if I try and take your guys' sides. I don't know.
eh.
Well, whatever.
As far as like, man, there's so many tag
I honestly
teams
don't.
out there.
That's so like, and that's such a loaded question, because I'm even thinking like who I would want to wrestle. I've always wanted to wrestle before they finished up with Wrestling Rock and Roll Express. That's been on my. I've been trying to manifest that for a while.
You
now,
have been
but
trying to manifest
it
that
hasn't
for a
been
while.
happening.
Like a dream match.
Dream
You
match.
guys.
That is probably my dream match right now. But no, I agree with Tyler. I just want to get out there and keep wrestling new people.
I want to wrestle MXM.
Yes.
That would actually be a fun match.
I want to do that. I want to do that at, like, I don't know. We've wrestled Dirty Breeze. I want to wrestle the other I want to wrestle MXM somewhere. That would be a lot of fun. Oh man, it's so hard to pinpoint.
I know we gotta work on our like
What?
on a board or something of like
A
what do they
board?
call it?
Tag Team Wrestling Bulletin Board, I
Yeah,
guess.
like,
I have enough.
What do they call it?
I have enough
Not
hobbies.
a
You can
dream-
do
is
it.
a dream board, not a dream board.
I guess
Is
the
it a
dream board.
It's a
I'm thinking
Pinterest
like
board.
Pinterest board. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
not what it is.
Well, there was a tag team that just happened to be on the podcast last week, and the way they ended it off, I don't know if you guys happened to see it or not. They actually called you guys out.
Oh.
Yeah, Miss Katie Arquette and Derek
Oh,
Dillinger. The
here
production.
we
First
go.
off, first off,
I'm-
I still got beef with Katie because Katie. So, yeah, short story with her. Katie at first thought I was gonna murder him
Oh,
in his sleep because
Let's keep going with that. Go with the
Yeah,
actual,
sorry.
Go with the actual beef.
of you, Katie. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There was more beef, wasn't there? More beef.
Huh? Oh wait.
Anyway.
Yeah, whatever.
So, okay. I always say, so there's a few stories about Katie. We don't have to get into them,
oh,
but I remember I was there when Katie won her first women's championship, and it wasn't at IWC. I can't remember where it was. And she had the belt, and I was like, we got to take a picture with the belt. She goes, well, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I just pose like I would pose. And guess how she poses now? Like I pose.
It does.
so she took your pose.
Yeah, but like whatever. We
Katie.
were still a team then, so I guess I can't hold it against her.
I guess she was just trying to fit in with the little tag team spiel.
Yeah.
Would that be maybe a match you guys would like to visit in 2026 against the production, Katie and Derek?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Me and Katie might beat the crap out of each other.
I've watched you and Katie.
Listen, we trained together.
Katie beat
Yeah.
the crap out of me and thought I was you that one
Listen,
time.
we trained together. We were used to beating each other up. She got hurt. I still feel so bad about this, Katie, so I'm sorry. We were running a drill together, and she hurt her ankle in training and was out for a little while in training, and it was something so small, but we beat each other up, and that's somebody else that I have that chemistry with. But get me in the ring, girl. I'll show you who's better.
All right. Well, one of these promotions better make that match official, damn it. I better get some royalty, too, from it. But here we go.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't think it's smart business-wise. I want to extend an olive branch here, and I'm not going to try and create any division, but I just figured, as a hypothetical, let's just say, would you two ever step foot in the ring one-on-one together, or have you ever stepped foot?
We
actually have. Okay.
We have. We did a
few matches.
We did a few matches together. Man, one of them was
we did a street fight. We did a fashionista street fight. We've done, I would say we've done 2 to 3 matches. We did a
Strange Bedfellows one.
Yeah, we were on opposite sides for a Strange Bedfellows match.
We wrestled each other singles one time.
Twice.
Which was the one you slapped the crap out of? Well, no, that's every match we've slapped the crap out of each other. What, you tried to taser me the one match?
That wasn't, yeah. But we haven't wrestled each other for a while.
No.
Would that be a feud, not even a feud, just a match that we could see down the line eventually, or do we, I don't know.
We could.
I don't know if I could deal with the after match. I don't think I could deal.
Or he's afraid that I'll kick his
I don't
ass.
think so. I don't think I could deal with the after match, like, complaining.
Complaining?
You did this, you did that.
You're going to be complaining that I beat the crap.
Yeah, okay.
Something unique you guys have mentioned a couple times in this episode, and I've even called a couple myself, the Fashionista Street Fights. That's a unique match that's personally your guys', I would say. Personally yours. All right, we'll give you the credit on this. Where did this come about, the idea behind it, and why are we seeing it so many times? I love it. I love seeing it every time.
So the original idea for the Fashionista Street Fight was my take on, how would I describe this? For some classic wrestling fans out there, I don't know if anyone remembers Lance Storm's Canadian rules.
Oh, that's a throwback, yeah.
He had a rule book, and sometimes the people in the match wouldn't even know the rules. So the idea of this Fashionista Street Fight was that my opponent didn't know anything about it except that it was a Fashionista Street Fight. Little did they know, the referee has a little rule book, and basically you're not allowed to use anything that isn't what I deem fashionable. So examples were and are, has to be pink, purple, sparkly, gold, silver, but not like a metal. It has to be a silver, right? It has to something with fashion. So the idea of the match was the person that I was wrestling going into it didn't know these rules. So say they tried to use a steel chair. No.
Not silver enough?
That's a steel chair. No, that's metal.
Well, yeah, it's metal, yeah.
It's not silver. It's metal.
It's fair.
Right? A kendo stick. No, you can't use a kendo stick. It's wooden. Like, what the hell's stylish about that, right? No, get out of here. So that was the original idea. It was basically a big mind game to whoever I was wrestling. And
Not even a pink chair would slide in this?
pink chair could slide.
A pink chair could
A
slide?
pink chair could slide. But
Okay.
who has a pink chair?
That is fair. I don't think I've ever seen a pink steel chair before.
Exactly.
Not even a purple.
Exactly. You never know what you're going to see, though. But yeah, so that was the original idea. It was basically my take on a traditional street fight, or and maybe a little bit of a more fun style of a death match, where you really have to think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bloody. It's
Yeah, it doesn't have to be bloody. It could be bloody. It doesn't have to be. Like some of my favorite moments are the gemstone thumbtacks. They're not really thumbtacks, but they're gemstones. And you know what? Gemstones hurt. Yeah, gemstones hurt. Or the pillowcase cookie sheets. That's one of my favorites. And that too.
a lot of the ideas now are just the fever dream I have the day before, and then I go and I shop. That's where the Pink Pony Club came from. I was you weren't even around.
No, but you told me the idea.
I was like, I want to come up with something different. I want to do something cool. It was because I think it was the name of the show was Hot to Go. And I'm like, well, let's do something chaperone related. I'm like, a Pink Pony Club. What can I do with that? And I ran out and I bought a whole bunch of pink and purple ponies.
Yeah, it was like a wooden board with a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No,
Yeah.
a tiara board.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, these are like...
No, it was the pony board.
No, the pony board. It was the pony board. The tiara board was the one before that.
But I think the Pink Pony Club came because
Pink
you had extra ponies over.
No, I didn't buy any. And I hadn't bought any yet. I came up with the pony board and the pony club the day before.
No, you were doing the pony board the whole time. No?
Nope. I came up. I was home alone and bored, and I was like, I bet you I could come up with something. And I just started crafting and making stuff. And he gets him. He's like, what did you do?
And I thought it was phenomenal.
I'm like, I went shopping and bought a lot of stuff that made no sense, and just started putting it together. And I actually have a friend I play video games with, and he was at the show, and he has. I didn't say this. He doesn't have the pony. He has one of the signs framed in his house.
Oh,
that way,
look at that.
it's still intact. He's like, I put it on my wall. I'm like, oh god,
That's insane. Do you guys have a favorite fashionista street fight you guys had? Is there a favorite, or maybe one that stands out?
oh god, I
really liked the one with Gummy Boar.
yeah, Gummy
That was my
Boar
favorite, I
was one of
think.
my favorites. The Pink Pony Club is like a very close second, just because of everything that I had made and like how excited I was to. I don't know if I was more excited just to have all the photos or just like start tagging Chaperone and everything. Like, look what I did.
Yeah, I would say I really liked the one with Gummy Boar. I thought that was really fun. We had a lot of good chemistry with them.
And I mean, those are some of the more extreme matches you guys been in. You're supposed to be in a steel cage match, but obviously that didn't happen.
Probably better that we weren't, because I don't know how feral I would have been in that cage.
No, you were going to be.
I was going to be so feral in that cage.
You weren't ready for the cage?
Oh, I was so ready.
Oh, he was.
You ready for it?
He wanted to.
like-
He wanted to.
You
go.
were locked in.
I was like drooling from the mouth. I was so excited for that cage.
That whole feud that you had at Enjoy's been going for a while now, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
More business going to be handled in 2026 with that, or are we trying to leave that in the past?
That might be in the past for
Past.
2026.
Good,
I
honestly.
think we need to find.
Look brighter. Look for the
We're
tag
gonna.
titles.
I think we need the tag titles, and I think we need to. I think we need to change direction there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell Darius Carter and those goofballs they can stay in the past.
Goodbye.
They can go do their thing.
Goodbye.
I'm going to be a little selfish with this next question. I like asking a lot of my guests on the podcast the same thing, and I want to ask you guys as well. What was your first impression of me? Because I've recently came into the professional wrestling scene. I've been doing commentary. I've done AEW. I've done AEW Dark Match. I've done some 880 work, IWC work. And I love connecting with professional wrestling, having these conversations, being able to pick your guys' brains a little bit. So I'm just curious. Are you okay over there?
I'm fine. I just thought of what I thought. Never mind. Just go.
You thought of what you thought?
Never mind.
He doesn't have many thoughts apparently.
Shut up.
Okay.
Go ahead, Austin.
I didn't expect that reaction.
Go, Calvin.
What was your
Austin.
first?
My first. Let me think. I'm trying to think when I first met you, to be honest. Well, you recognized us from 880.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you were like, "Oh, we'll see you tonight," or maybe we see you tonight. And I was like, "Oh, maybe." And I think we were supposed to be a surprise for that show. And I was just like, "Oh, like I can't tell them we're gonna be there, and then not." And then so I didn't really know who you were at first. And then I remember actually meeting you at an 880 show. And I was like, "Oh, like this makes so much more sense now." And so I wouldn't say it wasn't like a negative impression. It was funny because I didn't know your involvement with it. And then that's whenever I learned, because I believe you started doing stuff with IWC first, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So because I knew you looked familiar, but I wasn't sure why. And it's been a while since I was. Okay, it's been a while since I've been in the scene with IWC, but and then I remember you came up to us and we were talking, and it just clicked with who you were, and I remember hearing good things about you and what you wanted to do in wrestling, and I thought that was really cool that you felt comfortable enough to kind of come out of your way and introduce yourself when you weren't even sure where it was going to go. So I find that very commendable. 100%, because you kind of went out of your comfort zone to talk to somebody that you didn't know, that you saw but you didn't know, and sometimes that can be the most difficult thing.
Very difficult, but I appreciate that. You guys were always cool when I first met you. Are you okay over there though?
No, because he went to the super professional route, and I remember what I thought. I was like, that dude's way too attractive to be backstage. Who is he? I was like,
Well, there you go. Oh, you made him
that's
fly.
I know. Sorry, that's where my mind went.
That's
like,
funny.
Look, I
more
walked
red,
back and I
though.
was like, who is that? Like, he's too good looking to be
Oh,
backstage.
that's
I'll take that as a compliment.
Go ahead,
Thank
'cause
you.
that's why my mind went. That's why I started laughing, because I was like, his was like very professional and all this, and I'm like, no, I was like, wow, there's an attractive guy backstage. Holy crap, what's going on?
At 880. I mean, in all honesty, actually, I don't know if I want to really go there. I see what your point. I see
Yes,
the point
you know
now.
what I mean.
I see the point.
When you
now.
go into enough locker rooms,
Indie wrestling's interesting. Let's just leave it like that.
You're very put together.
yes,
Just
Thank
say
you.
that.
you were very put. No, that's right, because I think you might have actually been in. Like,
I was into suits.
suit.
That's probably why.
That's
Yeah.
why I was like,
You were very put together, and you were very you stood out in a good way.
I appreciate that. I'll take that compliment. I started off there wearing like the Pirates jerseys and stuff like that. And I kind of talked to Toddy one day, and I was like, this isn't really my style. I like more of like the suits, the professional look, the old school broadcasting kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I roll with that? And they're like, yeah, roll with whatever you want.
That's what he shows up in all the time. Like he'll be like, I'm gonna wear a suit. I'm like, we are going to the middle of nowhere.
So what?
Don't wear a suit.
So
But he'll wear it, and it looks good, and he'll be the one
right.
wearing a suit.
damn right.
I think that's how you stood out. Is like we saw you were like
You're like, whoa. It's,
one of these things.
why is someone wearing a suit at a skateboard
This is a
shop?
skateboard
like-
shop in the garage, and he's in a 3-piece suit. Okay.
I have one final question for you guys today before we end off the podcast. And this is a fan favorite question. I ask every single guest this. It has absolutely nothing to do with pro wrestling, just so you guys know.
Okay.
What is the go-to restaurant, favorite place to grab a meal, favorite place to, go out and eat? I'm a foodie, so I love hearing everyone's favorite restaurant.
I love Napoli and Bridgeville. Or is it Bridgeville? Or is it?
I think it's
Heidelberg, Bridgeville. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right by the sheets, right?
Yes.
Yep.
I love going.
Great place.
Yeah, we've gone there a lot.
Gone there a lot lately, but the food's so good.
My go-to.
Might be the
ooh.
coupons.
Well, it depends on what I'm in the mood for. What's somewhere that I can? If someone says let's go there, I will always go.
A sushi bomb.
No,
me.
that's. I mean, I like it, but that's not. I have to be in the mood for that. This is a good question.
I stump everybody with this question, so it's okay.
This is a very good question.
I mean, now I'm thinking.
You know where I actually.
Now I'm
have
thinking
been-
like food wise. Like if it's like Mexican, I'll be like Mad Mex.
Mhm.
If it's sushi,
You know,
it's Sushi Bomb.
So
If
there's
it's Italian, it's
there's
Napoli.
one place that has been so consistently delicious. I know you haven't. Have you ever been to Legends on the north side?
Legends.
It's right next to AGH, the hospital.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. I've
It
never
is
been there.
So good.
What kind of food is it?
It's mainly Italian,
Okay,
but they're
I like
only
that.
open from 4 to 8. I think like 6 days a week, so only dinner, and you have to call to make a reservation. They have a little bar area, but it's not really much. It's pretty much it's all BYOB, so it's not like an acting bar. But that is one of my favorite places lately. Also, Brick and Mortar.
Yeah, brick
Have
and
you been
mortar
to
is not
Brick and
bad.
Mortar
Heard that one,
on
yeah,
50?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's really good. That's another place that you can walk in and get a spot at the bar, but you should also probably make a reservation. There, Brick and Mortar is actually the physical restaurant of Berg's Bites.
Oh, okay.
The truck that is around.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
also one of my favorite.
What's the go-to food when you're usually out there? Is there a go-to, or you like mix things up a little bit? I'm plain, so I'm like a burger kind of guy. I like burgers and fries.
Oh, I think it depends on my mood, but I can always go for some Asian food.
Okay.
Yeah,
Your food is
yeah.
bad.
So like Nikki's Thai downtown, love it.
Part of me really wishes that 880 was still in New Kent sometimes because that Evanly Bakes place just opened up a new little bakery right on the strip there, and I really want to go back because it's so good.
What's the go-to for Napoli's? Is there like a go-to menu
Oh,
down there?
I always get like the calzone or
The stromboli.
not stromboli, or the buffalo chicken roll, like a pepperoni roll, but
Yeah.
buffalo chicken and all that.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good place. I've been there several times because I'm right in Carnegie, so that's not far from me.
Yeah, I mix it up, so it just depends with me. But
Okay. Well, I do appreciate the both of you taking the time every day to come down here, doing the podcast, sharing some
you.
stories. I do want to give you guys the final chance. Any final words you want to leave with the listeners, places they can find you?
yeah, well, we are all over social media. Our Instagram, we have a Runway Wrestling Instagram. We both have our single Instagrams. You can also find us on Twitter, I guess now X.
Twitter.
I'm still not used to that. I don't.
I'm not
I
either.
will be.
It's called Twitter.
Okay, Twitter, and then we also do both have Facebook pages. Yeah, that's where you find us.
Yeah, pretty much. As far as like,
And you can always find us at maybe an 880 show or an Enjoy Wrestling show.
like something I guess to leave people on is like definitely, indie wrestling just doesn't end in Pittsburgh. Like, look up people online. You can find new people to follow, new people to love, new people to support. So, like, no matter, like, just go on YouTube, look them up on social media. Like, that's how I find a lot of new wrestlers where I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, or they're really neat, they seem really nice, and, support them in those ways. It's like really kind of grow that.
Yeah, you can love your favorites, but I think it's easy to it's
Why not get a new favorite?
it's very and it's very nice to find the passion on the independence, and I think that's something that is huge is wrestling is everywhere. And I think, and
Yeah.
I would love if more people would kind of open their eyes to what's around them.
Perfect message. Support indie wrestling. Support indie wrestling. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is The Runway. I am Austin Cairns. Thank you so much for tuning in to Two Jagoffs, and we'll see you all in the next one.